Do you feel like you're walking through dangerous territory without protection? Like you're making decisions without clear direction, or facing threats that seem bigger than your ability to handle them? Today, you're about to discover that you have the most powerful protection in the universe surrounding you right now. What you're about to experience isn't just another prayer, it's a divine revelation that will open your eyes to see the invisible shield of God's protection around you, the supernatural guidance available to direct your steps, and the mighty fortress that keeps you safe in every storm of life. Right now, as these words wash over your anxious heart, the same God who has been your protector from the moment you were born is surrounding you with his presence like a mighty fortress. You are not walking through this life alone, you are not facing your battles without backup, and you are definitely not navigating your future without divine GPS. This is your moment to see with spiritual eyes the protection that has always been there, to hear with spiritual ears the guidance that is constantly available, and to rest in the security that comes from knowing you are hidden in the shadow of the Almighty. Consider the incredible story of Lot, who was living in Sodom when God decided to destroy the city because of its wickedness. 2 angels came to warn Lot and his family to flee before judgment fell. When the men of Sodom surrounded Lot's house with evil intentions, the angel struck them with blindness so they couldn't find the door. As dawn approached, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, "Arise, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you be consumed in the punishment of the city." When Lot hesitated, the angels took him by the hand, along with his wife and daughters, and brought them outside the city, saying, "Escape for your life. Do not look behind you nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be destroyed." Share, angels take me by the hand, if you need God's messengers to guide you out of dangerous situations. God's protection of Lot was so complete that he wouldn't destroy Sodom until Lot was safely in the city of Zoar. The same God who sent angels to personally escort Lot to safety is sending his protection to escort you through every dangerous situation you will ever face. His angels are encamped around you, his presence goes before you, and his power shields you from harm. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, people, or the enemy, you are under the protection of the Most High God. Comment, God's angels surround me, if you believe his heavenly messengers are watching over you and guiding you to safety. Think about the Israelites in the wilderness, who were led by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. For 40 years, God provided supernatural guidance that was visible, reliable, and constant. When the cloud moved, they moved. When the cloud stopped, they stopped. They never had to guess about God's direction or wonder if they were going the right way. His presence was their GPS, his glory was their guide, and his protection was their covering. The cloud shielded them from the scorching desert sun during the day, and the fire provided warmth and light during the cold desert nights. Share, God's presence guides my steps, if you need his supernatural direction for the decisions you're facing. The same God who guided the Israelites through the wilderness with visible signs is guiding you through life with his invisible but very real presence. His Spirit within you is your pillar of cloud and fire, leading you in the way you should go and protecting you from the dangers you cannot see. You don't have to figure out life on your own, make decisions in the dark, or navigate your future without direction. His guidance is available 24/7, his wisdom is accessible through prayer, and his peace will guard your heart and mind as you trust in him. Comment, his Spirit leads me, if you're learning to follow the gentle promptings of the Holy Spirit in your daily decisions. Consider young David, who was anointed king but spent years running from King Saul, who was trying to kill him. David hid in caves, lived in the wilderness, and constantly moved from place to place to avoid Saul's army. Yet throughout this dangerous season, God's protection was evident. When Saul came into the very cave where David was hiding, David could have killed him but chose to spare his life, cutting off a piece of Saul's robe instead. When Saul discovered what David had done, he wept and acknowledged that David was more righteous than he was. God's protection of David was so complete that despite Saul's relentless pursuit, David was never captured or harmed. Share, God hides me from my enemies, if you need his protection from those who wish you harm. David's experience in the wilderness taught him to depend completely on God's protection and provision. During this time, He wrote many of the Psalms that still comfort and encourage us today, including Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, he leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul, he leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." His wilderness years weren't wasted time, they were preparation time that developed his faith and his relationship with God. Comment, God is my shepherd, if you're trusting him to lead you, feed you, and protect you through every season of life. Think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were protected in the fiery furnace that was heated 7 times hotter than usual. When they refused to bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar's golden image, they were thrown into the furnace as punishment. But instead of being consumed by the flames, they walked around unharmed, and a 4th man appeared with them who looked like the Son of God. The fire that was meant to destroy them became the place where they encountered God's presence in a deeper way. When they came out of the furnace, they didn't even smell like smoke, and not a hair on their heads was singed. Share, God walks with me in the fire, if you need his presence to protect you in the midst of your trials. The king was so amazed by their supernatural protection that he promoted them to higher positions and decreed that no one could speak against their God. Their faithfulness in the face of death, combined with God's miraculous protection, became a testimony that influenced an entire empire. The same God who protected them in the fire is protecting you in your trials, and your faithfulness combined with his protection will become a testimony that influences everyone around you. Comment, fire cannot harm me, if you believe God's protection is greater than any threat you're facing. Consider Daniel in the lion's den, who was thrown to the wild beasts for refusing to stop praying to his God. King Darius had been tricked into signing a decree that anyone who prayed to any god or man other than the king for 30 days would be thrown to the lions. Daniel could have compromised his faith to save his life, but instead he continued his practice of praying 3 times a day with his windows open toward Jerusalem. When he was thrown into the lion's den, God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths, and Daniel spent the night unharmed among the wild beasts. Share, God shuts the mouths of lions, if you need his protection from the predators in your life. The next morning, when King Darius found Daniel alive and well, he was so amazed that he issued a new decree commanding everyone in his kingdom to fear and reverence the God of Daniel. Daniel's protection in the lion's den became the catalyst for the advancement of God's kingdom throughout the Persian Empire. The same God who shut the lions' mouths for Daniel will shut the mouths of every enemy that rises against you. Your protection is not dependent on your circumstances but on your God, who is able to make even your enemies to be at peace with you. Comment, my enemies become my footstool, if you believe God is turning every threat against you into a testimony for you. Think about Elisha and his servant, who woke up to find their city surrounded by the Syrian army with horses and chariots. The servant was terrified and cried out, "Alas, my master! What shall we do?" But Elisha's response revealed his spiritual perspective, "Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." When the servant couldn't see what Elisha was talking about, the prophet prayed, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." Suddenly, the servant's spiritual eyes were opened, and he saw the mountain full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. The invisible army of heaven was protecting them, and they were never in any real danger. Share, open my eyes to see heaven's army, if you need spiritual sight to see God's protection around you. When the Syrian army came down to capture Elisha, he prayed again, but this time he asked God to strike them with blindness. The Lord answered his prayer, and the entire army was blinded. Elisha then told them, "This is not the way, nor is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." He led them straight to Samaria, the capital of Israel, where they were completely at the mercy of the king. When their sight was restored and they realized they were trapped, the king of Israel asked Elisha if he should kill them. But Elisha's response revealed God's heart of mercy, "You shall not kill them. Set food and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master." Comment, God's army protects me, if you believe heaven's forces are fighting on your behalf. Consider the Apostle Peter, who was imprisoned by King Herod and scheduled to be executed after Passover. He was bound with 2 chains and sleeping between 2 soldiers, with guards posted at the door. The situation seemed hopeless, there was no way to escape from such heavy security. But while Peter was in prison, the church was praying earnestly for him. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the prison. The angel struck Peter on the side and woke him up, saying, "Arise quickly." The chains fell off Peter's hands, and the angel told him to get dressed and follow him. They walked past the first and second guard posts and came to the iron gate leading to the city, which opened for them by itself. Share, prison gates open for me, if you need God to open doors that seem permanently locked. Peter thought he was seeing a vision until he found himself standing on the street, free from prison. The angel had disappeared, and Peter realized that the Lord had sent his angel and delivered him from Herod's hand and from all the expectation of the Jewish people. When he went to the house where the believers were praying for him, they could hardly believe he was really there. God's protection of Peter was so supernatural that it seemed impossible even to those who had been praying for it. The same God who sent an angel to deliver Peter from prison is sending his protection to deliver you from every form of bondage. Comment, angels deliver me.